Colette was one of the most famous writers of the last century. She was groundbreaking, talking about sexual awakening of a teenage girl.
The wild days have just begun.
She was married to Willie. He had a factory of writers. Colette started writing as part of the factory.
We've never had one fly off the shelves like this before.
She was the talent, and yet he got all the credit.
I need my name on the book.
Women writers don't sell.
I mean, you get that all the time. She would be as extraordinary today as she was back then.
How difficult is it to write a screenplay about a writer?
Well, I think for Colette it was really interesting because often movies about writers about the secret romance that no one ever knew about. But she did everything very openly, very in public. She wrote about all her affairs. She explored, her own sexuality without shame, no guilt around the sexual issues. So she put it all out there. She was out in France doing these sort of performance pieces that just shocked people. And still today, debates about whether to include it in the trailer or not. She lived 100 years ago. She can still shock audiences today. Hats off to Colette.
Yeah, absolutely. And Liz, this is an important time for women in filmmaking and this story particularly. Can you talk of that? What do you agree with that? Is that something that you feel?
Yeah, absolutely. I think all the films that I've tried to make are collaborations with Killer, my partner Stephen Woolley, as films about people who really pushed against convention. I think the thing about Colette is she's someone who refused to be ground down by the mill of convention. And it's not easy to push against that small box that you've been placed in, and she was someone who really, really did that and shifted culture and social mores, both intellectually, creatively, politically. And it's fascinating to hear those people's stories because they inform us all. And it's also hugely entertaining, because that's what inspires us.
It's good fun as well.
Yeah, it's great fun.
She lived
the film's
large.
great fun.
Yeah.
Some of those scenes, you kind of wish you were at those dinner parties, don't you?
Oh, yeah. And just when the marriage is on the rocks, instead of looking into the mid-distance with a sad, melancholy look, Colette goes on the stage. I mean, she just had to do something to claim her voice as an artist. Yeah. That was something her husband couldn't take away from her.
No, absolutely. Is there anything we can learn in 2018 about Colette?
Yeah, I think it's like anyone who's facing a barrier in their life or feeling frustrated about situations socially or politically can look to her as an example of just turn yourself into a battering ram and break through. And I think that's what we all have to do right now.
I think which is what Kira has done, in her own career. And so for us to have got her as our Colette, was...
You both have said that she was the obvious choice to play Colette.
Kira has so many qualities. Her intelligence, her spark of life, her moxie, all come through in this incredible performance.
And she plays quite a range of ages in
Well,
this
she
film,
goes from
doesn't she?
19 to 34. And when you think of her at the beginning of the movie and the end, it's really apparent how she's just grown into her skin. And we've all seen Kira grow up on the screen for almost that same time period. So it really reflects that in many ways. And we worked on her body language, her voice, her gaze. Everything changed from face to face. And Kira just embodies it beautifully.
Yeah, you've got an amazing cast of co-stars as well, including some trans actors.
Yeah, Colette broke a lot of rules in her life, and I thought the casting should reflect that. In the movie, we have trans men actors playing cisgendered men, trans women actors playing cisgendered women. We have out lesbian actors playing heterosexuals playing bi-curious dilettantes. We have
nice to see it work both ways in this movie.
It does. We have Asian actors playing characters who are historically white, and let's face it, that's happened a million times the other way around. We have black actors playing people who are historically white. It's like let actors be actors, but include everybody, invite everybody to this party.